Hello, and welcome back to another live with me, your host, Steve WB, on Amazon, YouTube, and also Facebook. Tonight we're going to be talking about RC cars. That's normally what I do talk about. Now, in the future, I do plan to diversify a little bit and have some other shows to cover other products. But for now, it's RCs galore. I have a lot to go through. I have a lot to show you. And I'm even thinking about having a nice big fat giveaway for whenever I finally reach the 2,000 follower mark on Amazon. And it's either going to be a brand new RC car, one that I've covered reaching that point, or it might be you getting the choice of any RC car that you see me stream on. You can just pick out of the whole collection that I have that I've been covering all the way up to the point that I reached 2K, and then we'll just do some kind of a drawing, wheel spin, something, and you can actually just pick the one that you want. So just leave me a comment, let me know. Good idea, bad idea? Checking everything, making sure everything's running. I was kind of rushed a little bit. I was procrastinating a little bit getting ready for this live, so I had to hurry up and get it all done. But tonight we're going to be talking about more than just one brand. Tonight we're going to be talking about the DeeRC stuff, of course, but we're also going to be talking about the legendary stuff as well. So we have a lot to cover, a lot to look at. We even have some videos to watch. And the first one that we're going to start out with is this little feller right here. This is the DeeRC 9500E. Hello, Savannah Bennett, watching from YouTube. She's sweet. I know her. I met her once. She has that celebrity karma about her. But anyway, really nice lady. But this is the DeeRC 9500E. It's one of their newer vehicles. This is a twin motor, four-wheel drive, entry-level RC car. You can get this car for $75, and it's well worth it, because I've jumped this off the roof, I've jumped it off my big trailer, I've landed on the concrete every which way, but on the wheels, and it just keeps on ticking and taking a licking. It just goes and goes. And I've got some video I'm going to show you of it actually jumping off the roof as well, and some footage of it running up and down the street so you can see how fast it is. I have clocked it with a GPS. I've gotten 17 miles an hour out of this. But like I said, this is a toy grade RC car, and if you were to go spend $74.99 at Walmart, Target, Kmart, Sears, wherever, Radio Shack if they're still open somewhere, you're going to get a lot less car for the same amount of money. If you go to one of those stores and you spend $75 on an RC, you're going to get something that's going to go 5 or 6 miles an hour, and if it breaks, it's over with, it's done. You're not getting any parts. Savannah B, giveaway. Can I get a bag? Yes, dear, you can get a bag. You just got 2 today. But super cool little car. I'm gonna pop the top off of it real quick and let you have a look on the inside. This thing has dual motors. It has a brush motor in the front and a brush motor in the back with the aluminum coolers on it. You got a nice steering servo right here with a built-in servo saver. So that's very nice quality right there. You do have coilover shocks on all 4 corners. You have independent suspension in the front, and you have a straight axle in the back. And it does come with 2 batteries. And with these 2 batteries, you're going to probably get around 45 minutes of runtime. This thing's going to run until you get bored, possibly. And, you know, it's very, very capable, especially being 4-wheel drive. I went through my neighbor's yard. His grass is about this high. And as I was driving through it, you couldn't even see the car. You could just see the grass laying down in the car. Just wherever the car was, you just saw grass going down. It was kind of funny, actually. That's going to be in a later video that I'm going to be putting up on the official review of this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just play a short video of this car running up and down my street and then jumping off my roof just to entertain you a bit. And when we get back from that, we'll just move on to the next vehicle, because I do want to hurry up and get to the point where I can do the little excavator here. And then I have the big legendary Buckster, which that thing weighs 10 pounds, but it's a very nice RC for sure. But this should be the video right here. Let me go ahead and put this video on for you. All right, so this one is the 9500E. Let's see what it can do. This one is more of a toy grade one for sure, but way better than the toys you're going to get at the big box stores. Pretty quick. Let me fix the camera for you guys. It does have dual motors, 4-wheel drive. I am going to skip through this video. I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing. As you can see, it's very capable in the grass. And it really is a steal at $74.99. Should we try the neighbor's super thick grass? Tell you what, I'm going to get to the interesting part. Crazy move. This is the part where I throw it up on the roof. Oh, it's messing with me. All right, we'll just pick up from right here. Okay, we'll just pick up from right here. This is me jumping this car off of the roof. We're going to ramp it off the roof. See how it holds up. Woohoo! We made it! And just perfect. Yep. So pretty tough little truck for being toy grade. If you want to see a couple speed runs, that's what everybody wants to know. How fast and is it? Pretty quick. Fun little truck for sure. That's a DeeRC 9500E. All right. Let me get all this fixed. Fishy Comics, my friend, he says, I think my Arma weighs a good 10 pounds. Yes, that's a heavy RC. I'll show you my 10-pounder. I never had the Clodbuster. I remember the Clodbuster. I think that was more from back in the day. But this is the Buckster by DeeRC. We're going to cover this in a minute. This thing is metal everywhere, and it can actually hold 7 pounds in the bucket. And I was even digging a mini road in the gravel out in front of the house. So this thing is very, very capable. The Excavator, not as much. It's more of just a toy. But the Buckster, you could probably start a construction business with it. But anyway, that little video you saw, that was this little 9500E right here. You saw it fly off the roof. You saw it speeding up and down the road. I've jumped it off the roof 2 or 3 times now. I've jumped it, from the top of the house about 10 feet high and landed on the concrete at least 3 times. and it just keeps going. I haven't broken anything. I've landed every bad way that you can imagine, and it's just extremely durable. Now, if you're used to $1,000 RC cars, this isn't probably going to be for you. But if you want a good little basher for the front yard that can run forever and is going to be fun to drive and extremely durable and low maintenance, well, then this could be the one for you. If you have somebody just starting out in the hobby, this would be a good first RC because the throttle is fully adjustable, meaning you can turn it down as low as you want, turn it up as high as you want, and you're just gonna have a good time with this little guy. So the DeeRC 9500E. All right, we're gonna go back to the front. We're gonna start with this little guy. Now, this truck that I'm about to show you, he is somewhere around the line of like a 1/20th scale. He's pretty tiny, and this is made by Legendary. But this little tiny dude right here scoots. It goes about 18, 19 miles an hour. I clocked it with the GPS, and four-wheel drive, and just a very fun little truck. And let me see. You can see right here, it comes with 2 batteries. So you're going to get probably 45 minutes or so of runtime with this little guy. It actually has independent suspension in the front and the rear with the coilover shocks. It has front and rear differentials. And this has the top, like Legendary, that's what they do. They put like a top shell that covers all the electronics, and that stiffens up the chassis and just makes it more rigid of a car. But this is like perfect if you live in like a neighborhood, or if you're driving in smaller areas, because you put this on grass and it's pulling wheelies. You actually have to feather the throttle to keep it from flipping over backwards. It has so much power. And for something that's like a 1/20th scale to go, 17, 18, 19 miles an hour, it's fast and it's fun. It's just really, really fun little truck. You can, like I said, and the benefit of having something so small is if you have an A scale, you're not going to run it in a small yard in a neighborhood or not be able to actually have fun with it. But something like this is incredibly fun in a neighborhood environment because curbs or jumps and ramps and just the edging along the grass can make you do back flips and front flips and all that stuff. So it's just really, really a good time. I've been beating on this car for probably 6 or 7 months. I've yet to have to replace a single part on it, but Legendary does have parts for this car on Amazon. So you can get replacement parts for this, and that's what makes this so much better than what you would buy at a big box store. When you buy something at a big box store, I promise you it's not going to go 20 miles an hour, and I can promise you that you're not going to be able to get parts for it. These also come with the Lexan bodies that are replaceable. They're flexible, they're light, and right now, this car, you can get it for 54% off. And normally this car is $84. They're selling this right now for $38. You will not be able to find a more capable RC car for $38. I can guarantee you that. And just to give you an idea of the ratings, this has 2,429 reviews with a 4.5 star average. So how cool is that? This is I can't recommend this one enough. It's perfect for smaller kids getting in because you can dial the throttle down and make it as slow as you want to. Or if dad just wants to get out the yard, cut up and pull wheelies, then turn it up and have some fun. But this is the little Legendary Triton. If you have any questions about the Triton, or if you have any questions about the 3500E, make sure you just drop a comment and ask. If I don't see your comment right away, be patient. I will eventually check it out and look at it and see. I'm just not used to getting a lot of comments, so I don't check for them that often, but that will soon be changing. All right. Up next, we're going to be going to the Legendary Digger. This is an RC excavator. Now, I love the fact that it's an excavator, and I love the fact that you can have a ton of fun with it. But if you buy this and you think that you're going to actually dig a hole with it, you're mistaken. Do not buy this with the intention of being able to dig dirt. Now, if you have a pile of loose soil, say if you put potting soil or some loose sand, you can pick that up and move it around, but you're not going to do any fresh digging. This has little worm gears in it, and it'll start clicking and popping if you load it too much. I wish that wasn't the case, but that's just the hard facts about this. And it does come with a steel bucket, but the rest is all plastic. The tracks do actually work. And I'm going to put a battery in this, and let's see if I can get it going for us. Maybe I can embarrass myself. It comes with 2 batteries. This is a little, I put all my accessories for each one in a Ziploc bag so I can just keep track of what comes with what. And just put this in there. Put the top back on it. Now, I will admit too, I'm not very good at driving this. I have not had a lot of practice with it. And it has a lot of controls because you can control, you'll see it all, but between controlling the bucket, the drive, and the rotation, it's a lot to kind of keep up with, but it's a lot of fun too. I think, I'm not even sure this is the controller for it. Nope. Wrong one. Here's the controller for it. So it does have sound, of course. You heard that. So while you're driving, you can have the sound on if you want, but for the point of this demonstration, I'm going to leave it off because it's just going to dominate the show. And let's see here. You can control the bucket. And that's going to kill my mic. Let me spin it this way. All right. So you can control the bucket. You can control the boom. You can control the swivel. And you can pivot the arm as well. So, pretty. But like I said, if you go too far, listen, you hear that crunching sound. It will do that if you try to actually dig dirt. But as you can see, you can go through all the motions. I'm just not very good at them. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't driven this enough to actually get it all down pat. I'm definitely not a pro excavator driver. But you can also have the tracks. And it's very capable. It can go through grass, sand, all that stuff. It's not fast. It's not supposed to be, but it is very capable. And it's just a good time to sit there. And you would just be surprised at like how entrancing it is, I guess you should say. If you had a pile of dirt sitting there and you're sitting there like learning the controls, and you're just, it's almost like a therapy. It just takes your mind off everything else because you're looking at this, you know, trying to do all the proper movements with this thing. And it's just a good little short getaway. And if you like construction equipment, maybe you drive an excavator for a living, this would be a great model to have. But, you know, I want to reiterate the fact that if you buy this, it does have the metal bucket, but you're not going to be digging dirt with this. You can have a pile of soft dirt there that's loose. You can pick that up and move it, no problem, but you're not going to dig a fresh hole with this bucket. And it's not that the bucket can't handle it. It's all the worm gears will start clicking and popping if you overload them. And it's a shame that it is that way, but it is what it is. But you're not spending $10,000 on this either. This is actually a very reasonable vehicle. It's only $139, and it has 427 reviews with an average of 4.5 stars. So it has good ratings, and you know, it just is what it is. And this is going to be the legendary digger. It has all the different gratings. It has all the exhaust. You can see all the access panels on the side. The cabin has a little chair in it. It's got all the safety grills and guards on the roof and on the front. You have your rear view mirror here on the side. You have all your handrails if you were servicing or working on this vehicle. And they paid great detail. You know, they paid great attention to detail, I should say. And you can see, like, it has the rams, but these rams are non-functioning. They are just purely decoration. So everything else, like I said, is just controlled with these little worm gears. I don't know if you can see that, but right in here. But super fun, a great price for what you're getting. Like I said, this thing has a load of channels. It has the sounds. You can drive it, you can pivot it, you can do all kinds of things with this thing. And it's absolutely a conversation starter. Put this in your man cave and people are going to ask questions. So we're going to go ahead and set this little fellow off to the side. And we're going to move on to this one right here. This is one of my favorite ones that I have. This is Rango. And Rango's a little fellow. He's 8th scale. Let me dig him out over here in just a second. This is the legend. We'll get to him in a minute. Come on, Rango. All right, here's the little guy himself. This is the legendary Rango. And the first thing you might notice is the little flopping lights on top. Me and a buddy of mine, we're out trying to do some impossible things with it. I think we were trying to climb about a 60-degree angle on asphalt. And needless to say, the asphalt won. But it was an excellent time. And this truck actually did a very good job. I've had this thing climb up a 50-degree angle on carpet before with no issues whatsoever. And as you can see, it's got this big, nice body. There are other bodies available, so you can pick out the one that you want. This has a working winch on the front. You can let the winch out, pull the winch back in. It does help the truck if you do get stuck. The headlights work. The overhead lights work, or used to work. The tail lights work. It has turn signals. It's fully loaded with all that stuff. And I'm going to pull the body shell off. And I'm going to let you see what's underneath. And I'm going to give you a little tip about this truck too. All right, you can see that it's all connected by wires. And this is all your lighting connections. I just pulled this one out. I'm going to put it back in. You guys have any questions about any of these vehicles, just let me know. Now this does have, all right, I'm just going to disconnect it. We can redo this later. I want to show you the details of this thing, and the body's in the way, if you know what I'm saying. So this one does not come with a lithium battery. This one comes with a 7-volt, a 2S pack NIMH battery. You'll get about, I don't know, 20 minutes runtime on this battery pack. This is what it looks like right here. It's 1800 mAh battery. And to be completely honest, out of the box, this is a very capable crawler for what you're paying for. It has decent suspension. You have really, really good control on the throttle. You know, that's like when you buy a starter crawler like this, the ESC is the problem, because you want to be able to just really feather that throttle to control your wheel speed and as you're trying to climb and crawl. And this one is extremely, extremely good at that. I'll probably demonstrate it here in a minute. It does have the legendary brush motor right here. You can see that big metal can in there. It has a 2-speed gearbox that you can change from the controller. And it's just a really fun little vehicle. If you look on the bottom too, you can see it does have the 4-link setup. You do get a lot of twist and travel in this chassis. I don't know if you can see or how well that's translating, but a lot of motion. You have differentials in the rear and the front. It is 4-wheel drive. And let me put the battery back in, and I'll show you guys a couple things. And there is one thing I said that I was going to tell you about this. That's not the greatest thing on the, you know, I really hate to say this, but I feel obligated to say it, I should say. And this is the rear right here. You can see that it's almost like a 10 scale RC car that they put these big body mounts on to be able to fit an 8 scale body. Now, this rear mount right here was drilled extremely thin. And the first time I was crawling and I backed up and I hit something, it bent this plate underneath the actual rear axle. And it ended up breaking off up here. And I had to re-drill these 2 holes. And then just move this body post out one because I brought this whole thing in one. And ever since I did that, I've wrecked it many times. I've had no issues. But I just want you to know that if you spend $350 on this vehicle, that this rear plate right here is a weak spot. So I would brace it as soon as you get it, or just plan to drill it in the future and make that repair. Now, here is the controller for it right here. We're going to turn it on, and I'm just going to show you how slow you can crawl with it. You can see the servo speed. Oops, obviously in high gear. I'm going to shift it back into low gear. As you can see, I'm trying to show how slow you can go with it, and I'm crashing into everything. But say if you were trying to crawl my arm, it's going to give you that nice control. You can see how I'm able to just, and then it'll automatically brake when you let off. And that's what you want in a decent crawler. Like I said, you got to learn the reverse, because it'll jump in reverse pretty quick. And as you can see, it is 4-wheel drive, and it is 2-speed. So a pretty cool little vehicle for sure. Now what I want to do real quick, I'm going to have to take a quick intermission. So I'm going to put on this video. This is going to be the DeeRC 9300. I'm going to go ahead and post it right here. I'm going to let you watch the video of this little guy running around. So it's raining a little bit, but we're out in the front yard with the DeeRC 9300. Check it out. Roads are slippery. Try it out in the grass. So we're trying to do the old backflip. See if this is a good backflip tree. I don't think it is. But we're gonna try it anyway. Nope, not enough of a ramp. Anyway, you can see this little car can handle thinner grass. My neighbor has really thick grass. All right, so we're going to get back to the regularly scheduled live. That was my emergency reel. So I apologize for my little disappearing act, but you know, when nature calls, you answer. But anyway, so getting back to the Rango, like I said, this is more almost like a 10 scale body or a 10 scale frame with an 8 scale body. It does have the big foam filled, super plush tires. It's a very, very capable crawler. Like I said, I've crawled, you know, upwards of 50 degrees with this thing with no issue whatsoever. You can take this in mud, water. You don't want to submerge it, but you can take it off-road, grass, mud, hills, rocks, whatever, and it will do a very good job for you. Now on the top of the remote right here, you have the controls for the little winch right here, and you see that little winch actually works. That's pretty cool, right? And whenever you, this was another like weak spot on this vehicle whenever I got it. This little hook will pull off quite easily. So what you want to do is if you buy this vehicle, when you first get it, where that little metal ring is right here that holds the cable together, get a pair of pliers and just give it an extra squeeze. Just clamp it off just a little bit harder. That way you don't have to, you know, reinstall it and put it back on there. But like I said, this is by far one of my favorite ones. It's extremely fun. We had one of the kids inflatable water slides up, and it was at a really steep angle, and I can't tell you, we killed the whole battery pack with this, just trying to crawl up there and turn around without flipping and rolling back down. And just a lot of fun. And if you're not into crawling the rocks and all that stuff, you can use this as an off-road vehicle, and you can take it on the mud trails and bogs and all that good stuff and just have a grand old time with it, and probably won't get stuck. And just an overall nice little vehicle. And this one, let me go back to it. This is the Rango. Now the Rango does sell for $349, so it is higher, or a more expensive one for legendary. But in the world of RC, if you were buying a crawler ready to run, you're probably going to spend way more than that. And this one has 666 reviews with an average of 4 stars. So that's pretty good for this fellow right here. We're going to go ahead and turn him off. And if you didn't see it before, if you're just joining us, this is the body. It comes with old Rango. He does have a couple other bodies available. This is the one I chose. I just like the old military looking one. We'll put these clips back on. We'll get Rango out of the way. You guys have any questions about this beast right here? Do you have any questions about the digger? Do you have any questions about the 9500E, the little indestructible entry-level RC car for $75? Now the deal, I'm gonna call it the deal of the day, which it's not technically a deal of the day, but I would take a strong look at it. If you're looking at getting into RC, I would take a very strong look at this little legendary Triton right here. This thing's over half off right now. You can get it for 38 bucks. And this thing does almost 20 miles an hour and pulls wheelies on grass. It is a ton of fun. And this is the little legendary Triton. I'm going to keep trying to sell him because at that price, you're not going to get a better RC car. I can guarantee that. All right, so let's see where we're at. Okay, so we have another legendary vehicle. And this one's going to be the legendary Legend. This is a 10 scale RC. The Beast. Mark Weber's in the house. What's up, Marky Mark? He said in spare parts are easy to get. Yeah, we found that out. And thank you, Mark, for buying those lights. I didn't expect you to do that, but I appreciate it, truly. You're a good dude. With old Rango, we were climbing a hill, and he kept flipping over because it was just too steep at the top. And he scraped almost all of his overhead lights off. And, like, no problem. I'm pretty sure Mark just went on to Amazon, and there the part was. He ordered it, had it in a couple days. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's not going to be the case if you buy something from, from Kmart or something, because you're not going to get parts for it, and you're not going to get any support to get parts for it. But we are off to the legendary Legend. This is another entry-level RC. I have clocked this one at 17 miles an hour, which isn't extremely fast, but this one is extremely torquey. This can pull wheelies on grass all day long. And I've actually pulled wheelies hard enough from takeoff that it has flipped all the way over backwards on grass. But like I said, it only tops out at 17 miles an hour. So all of its power is on the low end. So it's really good for bashing. It's really good for smaller areas. It's good for off-road. This is the one that I was driving through my neighbor's grass. It's like 1.5 feet tall, and you couldn't even see the RC anymore. The only way I knew where this truck was is I could see the grass laying down as I was driving through it. So that's how I knew where the truck was. And we're just going to pop the body shell off. You can get these replaceable. These shells, when you go to check out or if you go to buy the Legend, they have different color schemes you can pick from. Because I think they have a purple and yellow. They have the blue and yellow. So just look at the different ones and make sure you pick out the color that you want. Now, the first thing you're going to notice on the inside is nothing. They have a top plate built onto this. I think Legendary does that on their RCs to stiffen everything up and to make it more dust and splash proof. And these are all ready to run vehicles, so you're really not going to upgrade these anyway. But, it just protects all that stuff. And it comes with 2 batteries. You're going to get about 40 minutes of runtime with this fellow. You do get 2 1600 mAh LiPo bag batteries. You can hook them both up at the same time. I do have both batteries in here. You have a 2-to-1 connector here. You connect 2 batteries, one into the car. And we tried to break this. We took it to a skate park, and I'm going to have to edit the footage of that. But, we were jumping verticals. We actually had a skate ramp where we were doing the whole YouTube thing where you jump up the skate ramp and you fly over the handrail and land in the grass in the back. We did that on repeat with this little truck. No problem whatsoever. I was doing my official review on this today. I jumped it off the roof, and every bit of the weight landed right on this tire right here. And I just knew I'd broken something. But to my surprise, I did not break anything. So I was very happy about that. Now this does have the metal dog bones in the front. It has the independent suspension. It feels like there could be oil in here. I don't know if they're just friction shocks or not, but you do have the coilovers in the front. In the back, you have dual coilovers. You have 2 shocks per side, and it is the coilover shocks as well. And you do have the independent suspension with the metal dog bones in the back, and you have the metal differentials. So this truck has a lot of metal in it. It feels it. If I had to guess, this thing probably weighs 4.5 pounds, maybe 5 pounds. It's pretty heavy for a 10 scale RC. It has the aluminum skid plates on the bottom to protect your differentials. And as you can tell, I've been using those guards there. I'm starting to scratch them up quite a bit, so, but it's all in good fun. Had a good time bashing this several times. Like I said, we took it to the skate park. We ran it like crazy. I do have footage of this. I just haven't put it in a shorter format and took all the curse words out so you can watch it on the live yet. So I hope to do that soon. But this is the legendary legend. A very capable little basher for sure. And I might have a short clip. Let me see if I can find one real quick. I like to show you guys what this thing can actually do. Let me see real quick. I think this it's not the best video though. Let's see, we'll play it a minute. That was a nice little wreck. Hard to see, I guess. Like I said, I haven't edited this. And if I say something out of line, I apologize. Let me see. Let's take this one down. I'll try one more. See if I can find one more video of that. Let's see here. Yeah, I think this one's going to be a better one. Let's try this one out real quick. But you can see we're hitting those jumps quite hard, kind of knocking it straight up in the air. But it lands very well. It's not a lot of spring and bounce to it. So it's got to have oil in the shocks because, I don't know. If you're still watching, Mark, what do you think? Do you think it's got oil? He was there with me when I was driving this and trashing this little car. But you can see it's a real fun time in the dirt. And it's just a very good beginner drone. I mean, a very good beginner car. I have drones in the mind. That's my next thing I got to do a live on are drones, and more drones. I got about 6 drones I got to talk about. But this, like I said, if you're just joining, I'll give you the quick overview. The legendary legend. They completely encapsulate this to give it more strength and to protect the electronic. It is ready to run, so if you wanted to upgrade this, you would have to almost completely pull the car apart to get the shell off. You get 2 1600 mAh batteries, which is going to give you about 45 minutes of runtime. You have your ESC here on top. You have the coilovers in the front, dual coilovers in the back. You have metal differentials in the front and in the back. You have the metal dog bones in the front and in the back. And you also have the metal skid plates as well. You have just air-filled tires, but a nice, heavy, fun little car. It tops out about 17 miles an hour, but it will pull wheelies on grass. And it will pull a wheelie so severe that you can flip it over backwards. So, fun little car for sure. And just like the others, you can dial the throttle down if you want to, if you have somebody who's just learning, and make it as slow as you want it to be in case 17 miles an hour is too fast for them. But just a fun little truck. I jumped it off the roof, landed it very awkwardly. I didn't break anything, thank goodness. And like I said, I've hit all kinds of stuff with this, and it just holds up extremely, extremely well. So, a little legendary legend. Okay, the next one, y'all are going to like this one. Now, this big boy right here, he costs $299. He has 427 reviews at 4.5 stars. And hello, Susie. Welcome to my live. I don't know how you always see my lives. I never know what time you're going live. I try to pay it forward and come and watch you. But it's like every time I check, I just missed it like an hour ago. But I do put it and play it, you know, on the replay, because I think that still counts for something. If you don't know, Susie is a fellow influencer, as I am. She has her own show on Amazon Live, so check her out. Yeah, she says I'm psychic. I'm like, either you're psychic or I'm just predictable, and I'm going to bet on me being predictable. Okay, so this is the not the DeeRC. This is the legendary Buckster. As you can tell, it has a metal bucket, and unlike the Excavator here, this one clicks and pops when you put a strain on it. This one does not. This one is extremely capable. I have not maxed it out yet. I'm flipping it upside down because I'm going to put a battery in it, because I want you to see the bucket work. Because I do have 7 pounds of dive weights here that I'm going to actually load in the bucket and lift up for you, just to prove to you that it will pick up 7 pounds. And what's kind of cool about this one too, that's not it. I keep all my accessories in Ziploc bags. That's how I keep them all together. And yeah, this RC vehicle weighs 10 pounds. It's just in between 9 and 10 pounds. So it's extremely heavy, but it's a lot of fun. You do get 2 batteries. You get these little 2000 mAh lithium batteries. But get this, you get chains for the tires. You get like snow chains for the tires. How funny is that? So on the back tires, you can actually put snow chains on. I thought that was funny. I've never put snow tires on in my life, so there they are. Maybe I'll get brave one day and try to figure it out, and I'll put them on. But this is one of my favorites by far, because it actually works like an actual real piece of construction equipment. I guess front end loader is what you would actually call it. Instead of calling it Buckster, you'd call it a front end loader. And I just lost the screw. Oh, I found it. Yes, it can hold 7 pounds, and we're about to do that with the bucket. Oh man, we're running short on time tonight. This might have to be the last one. I'm not going to get to the rest. But here it is, good old Buckster. Here's the controller. We're going to turn it on. We're going to turn him on. Like I said, this thing is $299, basically $300. But you get what you pay for. And when I say this thing has metal everywhere, even the little handrails right here are made out of metal. It's just a nice little vehicle. Why don't you want to bind? Oh man. Oh no. That makes sense. Oh. All I gotta say for that is we had to get the right controller. Anyway, I have the right controller now. You can hear that you can actually activate the sounds. And you can also turn lights off and on. But this is the part that and when you steer it, it steers in the middle. The wheels don't turn. So I don't know if you can see this that well or not, but So pretty cool, right? You have forward, back, left, right. Then on this side, this is all your bucket controls. You have the bucket up, bucket down, then you can lift it and lower it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and lower it. And right here, this is a 3-pound dive weight for scuba diving. We're going to stick that. This is all lead, and this is a 4-pounder right here. So that's 7 pounds of lead weight. So I'm going to stick in the bucket of this little RC, and just like that. No clicking, no popping, no snapping. Just a very, very capable little RC. And you can even push it right off the table if you wanted to. So super cool, this little legendary Buckster here. I was actually we have like a little gravel bed in the front yard, and I was driving it in there, and I was actually able to dig like a road the width of this bucket, about 1.5 inches or almost 2 inches down in the gravel. I was just digging it, picking it up, and dumping it. It was just a good time. I got lost there for a little while, but to be able to pick up 7 pounds, let's do it again, just so you know it's not a fluke. I know it's not a fluke because I do this all the time. We can get it to stay in there. Let me get the bucket angled up. And here we go. Y'all ready for this? Just all day long. And you can even drive around with it. So very cool little RC. Like I said, the arms are metal, the bucket's metal, the handrails are metal. It's got very thick rubber tires, and it's just a fun little vehicle. And if you're into construction or you work construction and you just like these types of vehicles, you know, you can have the bucket. Yeah, you can have the excavator, you can have the bucket. They also sell a dump truck. I don't have the dump truck yet. I might be getting that soon if I play my cards right. But just really fun, cool little things. And if you're not into RC, I would recommend getting into RC because it's a nice little getaway from everyday life, and it takes your mind and can actually reduce your stress level, unless you wreck and total the car. But you know, it's whenever I drive them, you stop thinking about everything else and you're just concentrating on that and having a good time doing that. And it's just a fun getaway and a fun time. It's great for your kids. It's great for hand and eye coordination, and your kids will probably drive better than you because they probably game a lot more than you do, and it uses the same motor skills. I like to take the trucks, like this little 9300 here, take it to the skate park and jump all the ramps and just trash and bash and have a good time. You know, all these things are ready to run. You don't have to put anything together. You charge the batteries and go, and they're capable. All these cars do between 17 and 30 miles an hour. Lily is a pro. That's good, Lily. If you're a pro, I would recommend one like this, the DeeRC 302E. I'm going to have to wrap this live up here in a couple minutes, but I'll show it to you real quick. This is a hobby grade little car, costs $159. It has 579 reviews with 4.5 stars, but you can run a 7-volt battery and go 20 miles an hour, or you can put an 11-volt battery in this and go over 30 miles an hour with this guy. It has metal differentials, metal dog bones, metal drive shaft connecting the front to the rear, and just a very fun, capable little truck. But with that being said, I did not get through all the cars I wanted to get through tonight, but my time has expired. Oh, a nitro 8-scale truggy. That's serious right there. And those things are not cheap. Here's the only 8 scale that I have. This is a rock crawler called Rango. It's a legendary Rango. It's 4-wheel drive. A really capable, cool little 8 scale truck. But anyway, if you like content like this, if you like talking about RCs, and especially if you're into the ready to run stuff, so on and so forth, just consider following me. That way you know when I go live, and feel free to join anytime. I mostly do RC stuff, and it's just a good time. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time.